Point number 5. Hell, buses. You should learn about the buses. This is the situation when I said again, you need your Google Translator to talk to Ukrainians. This is why if you don't find an African or an Indian or someone that speaks English, then you can use Google Translator to ask them. The buses don't all go through the same route, right? So they go to different places, and you might not know where to stop. You might not know the right bus to take. Okay, and if you're using the metro too, the underground train station, you also don't know the stops as well. So it's best to ask all these things so you don't get lost. But since there's a higher chance of you still getting lost, still have a number of someone you can reach in case of anything. Okay, in case of anything, so this person can come get you. Okay, now while we're still on buses, taxi numbers. What? Taxi numbers. Huh? Jesus Christ. So for where I'm staying and for most cities, you can easily find optimal taxi. That's 579. Okay, 579, that's for optimal taxi. 959 for royal taxi. Or you can just download Uber on your phone, put in your location. When you put in your location, type in where you want to go to. Okay, you can just ask someone and then they'll copy it and paste it for you there. Then they'll send you a taxi. You pay for a taxi, it takes you there. Okay, if you know you're going to get lost, or if you're not sure where you're going to, just have money with you, just in case of anything, so you can always take a taxi from where you are to where you're going to. Okay, the truth is it's kind of expensive always taking a taxi, but the truth is when you're new, you don't know your way around. So I advise you first take a taxi, take taxis to some places, then at a time learn the buses that go through those places. Okay, always have a backup number of someone you can call in case of anything, or have a taxi number with you so you can always call them, in case things get so bad, so you can take a taxi from where you are to where you're going to. In case you don't know where you are when you at the place you got lost, ask one around. Oh, where is this place? They don't need for me to say it. You can just type it on your phone and ask. They will help you. You can even give them the phone to help you call the taxi, or if you don't want to give them your phone so they don't run away with your phone, which they might, that doesn't really happen, you can ask them to say it out and you pronounce it to the lady or the man on the phone. Okay, so that's for transportation. Okay, so that was point number 5, 4. I'll go with 5. Okay, so the next point, money conversion. Point number 6, I hope. Money conversion. This is a very serious situation, especially when you're coming from a place that the currency rate is very different. For example, in Nigeria, our currency rate is very high, unnecessarily high. So you end up spending, or you see that 300 and something naira is equivalent to $1. That is so high, and that means that every little thing you have to buy when you convert your money to grievance, which is the currency of Ukraine, or dollar, you automatically think you're spending so much, but the truth is you are not. The truth is in their currency it's not expensive, but unfortunately it's because where you're coming from, that's the rate, like the exchange rate, it seems that high. So I will advise you, don't convert every time you want to buy something. I'm not going to say you shouldn't save. Okay, of course you should have the money with you, you're planning to save, especially if you're a student in Ukraine. Okay, but don't convert everything. Just have it in your mind that you are working with the currency here. If you keep converting everything, you will just end up feeling sad, depressed. You won't buy a lot of necessary things because of it. All right, okay, so that was point number, okay, I lost track at this point. 6, I'll go with 6. So now point number 7, the bread. Where we are coming from, our breads are nice and soft. We have agege bread, we have normal sliced bread, but here in Ukraine the bread is hard. It's called bation. Actually, it's very hard. And they actually have soft breads, but those ones are not common. They are very expensive. You can only find the kind of sliced bread that you're talking about in in a place called Metro. Okay, so their normal cheap breads, their normal cheap breads, which is like the normal bread you can get in Nigeria, the ones of like 6 grievance, which is like, let's say 100 and something naira, I'm not sure, but something of that range. It's actually very, very hard, and you have to microwave it and eat it very fast. If not, you can still eat it after microwaving because it gets harder. Okay, but then we have some substitutes. 1 minute. We have some substitutes like this. Okay, this one is called the stovey. Thank you. The stovey is the closest to our kind of bread back home. It's soft, it's soft, it's it's sliced, the taste is still not like the Nigerian or the African bread, but it's the closest. The bation or the bation one, you will see it, the unsliced one, is very, very hard. So I'm just giving you a heads up of what to expect. Okay, if you still insist on buying the bation, you have to microwave it and eat it immediately because it gets harder. So I would advise you get tostovi. Okay, tostovi bread. You have different kinds of tostovi bread. This is one kind. There's a blue one, there's a green one. It depends on where you are. Just ask them for tostovi bread and they will show you. Okay, that was point number, I'll go with 7. Am I numbering this thing right?
Who knows?
Oh well. Okay, the next point, I'm just hoping that I'm hoping that it's point number 8. Point number 8 is, oh yes, passport. Point number 8, passport. Okay, the truth is there are some people that are illegal immigrants. Okay, while there are some people that their passports have not their passport, their temporary visa here has expired and they don't want to go home to wherever their home is, so they are now automatically illegal immigrants. Okay, so because of this, the police are always trying to fish them out. So they might stop you and ask you for your passport. You should understand they're not trying to be racist. No, this is not them being racist. This is them being protective. They're trying to be careful. They're trying to fish out these people. Okay, I want to advise you to carry your international passport or even your temporary passport around, because you can misplace it. It's very hard to it's very easy to misplace it, so take a picture. Have a picture of your temporary passport, which is your COVID card, and your international passport on your phone, so in case of anything, just show them a picture. That's it. It saves you the energy of carrying your passport, and makes you feel free, because when your carrying something so important, you're always so tensed up. It makes you less tensed. Okay, so that's another important fact you should know. That was point number 9, 8. That was point number 8. Pork. For my beautiful friends out there, pork is something that is very common. I don't know if it's common in other places. Where I came from, it's not really as common as beef. It's there, but not really so common as beef. But here you can literally enter the market and you see it there, and you don't know. When you tell them to give you meat, they might actually give you pork because you were not specific, and they're not trying to do that because of anything, but just because to them there's no big deal about it. I know a lot of people don't eat pork, Muslims to be precise, and even some Christians or non-Christians. Some people just personally don't like pork. So in case you just don't like pork for any reason whatsoever, always ask. Always be very precise when asking him. Okay, this is where the Google Translator comes in again. You type it and tell them you want beef. When you type it, it will show you what it is. Okay, and if you want pork, you type it as well and tell them you want pork. Okay, but also the first instinct or how to know it when looking at it is beef is always it's red, it's dark red, while pork is lighter in color. Pork looks like fat actually, but it is fat, so it looks whiter, lighter in color like fat, while the beef looks reddish. But in case you're not sure, type it and show it to them, but don't just say give me meat. If you tell them meat, they might give you pork, because and this is not just in the market, also when you are in the restaurant. Always be very specific. Tell them, because they eat steak a lot here, so you have to be precise about the kind of steak you want. If you just tell them steak, they will ask you which one, but to be extra safe, always type it, okay, and show it to them. I eat both, and my Muslim friends have told me that I can't differentiate the taste. I think that's true. I really can't differentiate the taste but they taste so good. They both taste good to me, you know. So always ask them to be sure. Okay. In conclusion, I hope this 10 tips, points, whatever was very useful to you. So don't forget to type in the comment section, share with me your experiences if you're in Ukraine and you've had some like crazy experiences like I have. Let me know down and I would love to hear from you guys. Till next time, bye.